Hi Mermaid Junkies. I wanted to do a video today about soulmates, of course, because I seem to be getting so many more questions even still to this day. And I think I did that video, I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago or something. I don't know, but it seemed like it was a while ago, but that's like, to date, that's my #1 video that I get the most email about. So if you ever want to email me, because I know that I've had a couple of people like find me on Instagram. I've had a couple of people find me on, a couple of people find me on Instagram, and I know that I guess I don't have my current email address on, the video description below. So it's Raquel, RAQUEL, at Raquel again, the same name, RAQUEL, Carter, CARTER.com. So Raquel at RaquelCarter.com. And that's my email if you ever want to ask me questions or send in questions, because a lot of times when I get your emails, I will sometimes not answer you through email, but I'll actually do a video about it. So if you would love, or you have questions about soulmate experience, twin flame experience, let me know, and I would be happy to do a video on it because it's my favorite subject. But anyway, so what I would like to talk about is a couple of more things that I did to manifest my soulmate in 2 months. Since there seems to be so many other like little intricate little things that haven't been maybe said on a video, or if you just read my story, there's some things you wouldn't know unless I'm telling you. So I thought what I would do is share a couple of those things with you. Now, I know that in my other video, I talked about I think I gave like 7 steps or 7 tips or something like that to help manifest my soulmate. But anyway, what I want to talk about today is like the real intricate little things, because everything's so not cut and dry, especially when you're thinking about a huge, like, to some people, manifesting a soulmate seems like that's a really big manifestation, right? It's not like if you listen to Abraham Hicks, it's like it really takes no more energy to create a button than it does a castle. Now, that sounds, in hindsight, if you're thinking of it like logistically, it sounds like, okay, yeah, right, whatever. But my next video is going to be, about manifesting and like why some of us feel like we might stink at it, and so maybe I can help give some of those things. The reasons why you may not be manifesting your soulmate, or a home you want to live in, or a nice vehicle, or a really super dream job, or something like that. But anyway, so today's video is going to be about the soulmates, though. The #1 thing that I think that you guys, that I've expressed numerous times on my videos about soulmates is that I did a focus wheel. And a focus wheel is basically like a tool that you use that helps you to work out the bugs in your energy and in your vibrational energy, because you may be having some contradictions in your belief systems, because that's going to be the only reason, that's the major reason that most people don't manifest things. They think, they think of The Secret maybe, or whatever, and that, as good as that book was, or video or whatever, it's kind of like, it wasn't really, it was more about manifesting money, it seems to me, which is not a bad thing, but it's just like, it's kind of like they kept the secret out, because there's so many little details to someone manifesting something, especially a soulmate, right? So I know I've had this question a lot, is that, so the one question that I keep getting repeatedly is that people know that they have met their soulmate, but either one of them isn't ready, or one of them is in a relationship, like one is very apparently, like either they both know that they've met their soulmate, but they're not together. And the reason is maybe one is married and has a family, one is like, one is not ready mentally or emotionally, even though they know that they're soulmates. And so what I think we have to remember, guys, is this: when we know with a surety that that particular person is our soulmate, first of all, if you're questioning it, right there, that's the energy that you're putting off, is that you're contradicting your energies. Okay, and so that's the number one reason that we don't manifest our soulmate or whatever we're trying to manifest, is because we have contradicting beliefs going on and we don't even realize we do it. It's subconscious because it's such conditioning throughout all of our lives, right? So like I said, like one of the questions was, what do I do if I know I've met my soulmate, but we're not together? Like he's with someone else right now and I'm heartbroken. And then it seems like when I'm available, he's not available. And when he's available, I'm not available. And so what you have to do is you have to get off the freaking subject, because I know it's a huge issue, like not issue, but I know that manifesting a soulmate and a twin flame is probably on the top 3 list of everybody that wants to be like follow law of attraction and they want to manifest things. Love is probably like it's probably number 1. I don't know for sure, but I would think money and love and success would be, like your dream job or something would be number 3 maybe. I might be completely wrong on that, but I'm thinking just by the statistics and my views and where I make my money on YouTube would be the videos about soulmates. So I'm assuming from, the stats that soulmate love and twin flame love is really, really high up there on the list. So like I said, the one thing that I did to manifest my soulmate so quickly was that I never had a particular person in mind. The only thing that I had in my mind about my soulmate is that I did a running tally list, and you can maybe do this. This might be helpful for some of you, is to get out a piece of paper, okay, and put at the top, headline it. And this is what and I did this too, and I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but at the top of the paper on the header, I put all of the things that I appreciate about my soulmate. Now, the things, where I accomplished getting my list of the things that I appreciate about a soulmate, like the things that I really, really were very, very important. Now, a lot of times we don't really need to do this, but if it helps you to feel good and to have a good sense of energy and a happiness and it's bringing you joy, we should do those things that bring us joy. But as soon as you start feeling upset or you feel that, I'm going to get to the list, I promise. But as soon as you start feeling like, if you're thinking about your soulmate a lot and you're say for instance, you do have someone in mind and you know that this person's their soulmate, your soulmate, if you're not thinking of them and it's happy thoughts, you need to think of something else. Like, get your mind focused on something else that's successful in your life. Like, say for instance, I had 5 topics, right? Okay, and I'm going to be dramatic and say only one of those things was good going on in my life, right? But the other 4 things were sucky. Like maybe I was having really bad energy about money, and I was stressed out about things, or I wasn't doing well on my diet, but I've accomplished meeting my soulmate. Okay, and so that's a positive thing, right? Instead of thinking of all of these other 4 things that are screwy in your life, focus on the positive aspects of the soulmate. So whatever it is, you can decide on your list or whatever, but the majority of times people spend all of their energy, and it's negative energy, which is really even bad because it's law of attraction. You're going to get even more of that. Like, you're gonna get more. It's like attracts like, right? So if you're thinking all the time about how much you're not getting with your soulmate, instead of all these other positive things, maybe you have a really good relationship or good friendships. They're really, really good friendships, or you have a really good work environment. But half the time we focus on the negative stuff we want to like stomp it to the ground and conquer it, right? And kill it because we want to make it go away. Instead of thinking of the beautiful things, you need to switch it around and start thinking of all the beautiful things and the things that you're appreciative about, okay? So that's one big thing. The other one is, okay, so once you've got your list out, at the top of the paper, you're going to put all of the things that I appreciate about my soulmate. And this is the next thing that I want you to do. I want you to go, because I know that you can identify with me in some form of love, okay? Now, I am not one that I've had not even one of them wasn't even really a relationship. It was a friendship, basically. And so I didn't have a lot to go on. But the things that I really, really appreciated about these particular love interests that I had in my life, I picked out the most beautiful aspects of that person. And you might want to do it after you've gotten out of meditation, because you want to think, I mean, in heartbreak, you always think of the sad crap about somebody or why, excuse me, why a relationship didn't work out. But what you're going to use is these particular experiences and relationships in your past before having met your soulmate or going to meet in preparation to meeting your soulmate. You're going to use the beautiful aspects of that particular person. So let me give you an example. For instance, and I've said this before on video, as much as my ex and I didn't work out, right? And the much as the relationships that I have had that didn't work out, there was beautiful aspects that I was very much appreciative of in these particular men. And so on the paper, what I did is I didn't write the particular person's name or anything. I just wrote the attributes that I loved about them, that I wanted in a soulmate. One was this one particular love interest of mine. I really appreciated how he was very verbally complimentary to me. He was very, very affectionate in that way. Very, very much wanting to look at me in the eyes. He was very complimentary, always told me how pretty I was. He thought that it was great that I wore cute dresses and stuff like that. He was very... like physically groomed. He always had really cute haircut and everything like that. And so those were things, and that might sound silly to you, but what it does is it gets you on a momentum about your soulmate. And so you don't have to have a face to your soulmate, but what you're doing is you're preparing your energy and you're cleaning out like the slate to be ready for your soulmate or your twin flame. And so what it does is it creates a good momentum. And then when you get on that momentum, it increases with time, right? And so like you're in alignment when you're thinking of all these positive things about your particular soulmate, and it gets you excited and it makes you happy. And then you learn to feel joy without having the condition yet of meeting your soulmate. And so I'll tell you what I did that every single day. I had written my list and I remembered all of them because I was like, oh, I'm going to remember that. So I was like, I'm going to add that to the list. Or say I see someone that is it doesn't even have to be a love interest in the past. If that doesn't do anything for you as far as like bring negative energy, then don't do that. I mean, you can find a good attributes in anybody. It doesn't even have to be a love interest. I mean, like, like I think, I always wanted, my soulmate to enjoy me rambling and talking and not be so quick to like interrupt me or not be interested or whatever. And my dad is a very good listener. So what you can do is you could pull it from a guy at the grocery store. Maybe he was very courteous and let you in front of him. You're like, wow, I'd really love a guy that was gentlemanly, had a very Southern gentleman, manners, and just write all of those things down. Now, the universe already has the overview. The universe already knows down to the minute details of everything since you became a mortal. You know what I'm saying? Like when you became a human. That sounded weird, didn't it? When you became a human. Should I cut that out? But I think that's kind of funny. Anyway, but when you first came to the earth, source, the universe, has all of those little teeny intricacies in your reservoir. Do you know what I'm saying? In your escrow account for your soulmate. So the universe knows all these little things. Like, you're thinking, okay, if I don't say it, is the universe going to know? Yeah, the universe is going to know. But your goal is to get in alignment, and you need to be clear of any contradicting beliefs. Like, say, for instance, this particular girl wrote into me and she's like, what am I going to do? I'm just distraught about it. Okay, so right there is telling you that if you're distraught about it, you've got negative energy coming in. So you're contradicting your beliefs. So you might believe in your soulmate, but you're getting upset because what you're seeing is he's with his now wife. So what you have to do is you've got to remove those negative contradicting beliefs about it, because like I said, it's guaranteed you're going to be with your soulmate. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to be with them, but you have got to clean your energy up, because if you keep worrying about, well, it doesn't look like, it doesn't look like we're gonna, should I take action? Because that's what we're tempted to do, is go, okay, well, I need to talk to them, or I need to tell them, I need to express how I feel about them. You don't need to do any of that. You need to trust that source and the universe has everything aligned. And if you start doing that, like, you feel like you need to take action towards it. And that's one thing that I didn't do. I didn't take any action towards it. I worked on my own energy and cleaning my energy up, because like I said, I didn't know who my soulmate was. I was thinking it might be a couple of different people, but I was like, well, maybe it's not, I don't know. But I wasn't tied to anything, because I was like, well, the right person, the perfect person is going to come into my life. I don't want somebody if they're not the perfect soulmate or twin flame for me. I don't want them anyway, because wouldn't that suck? You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, well, I thought they were my soulmate and they're not. And if you thought somebody was your soulmate and it didn't end up working out or whatever, don't keep yourself, maybe what would help is don't keep yourself tied down to a particular situation. Like, okay, well, this is how it's going to work out, and oh my God, he's going to have to get divorced, and oh my gosh, maybe we'll meet up here, or maybe I should just happen to run into him or whatever. Because what you're going to do is mess everything up. Like, the universe already has everything. Your job is to get in alignment, remove contradicting beliefs, focus on the beautiful aspects of what you want your soulmate. If it brings you happiness, then think about it. If it starts to stress you out and you start going, oh, well, how's this going to happen? Or what's going to happen? Oh, what if it never happens? Oh my God, what if it takes so long? Okay, when you start doing that, you're stopping your growth. You're stopping the momentum. Does that make any sense? From actually it transpiring very rapidly. You're just, and it's not your fault or anything like that. Don't feel bad about it. I did it a couple of times because I was just like, I would get all worked up and everything, and then I finally just released it, and I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to think about it unless it just makes me completely giddy and excited, and so I would just play with the universe, and like, as soon as I felt like that I was, like getting to a negative place, or I started thinking about, what if I don't ever meet him, that kind of thing, I stopped thinking about it, and I went and did a blog, or I wrote, or something to get my mind off of it. You gotta trick yourself, not trick yourself, but you have to keep the good energy going as long as it's going, and then when it starts to go awry, then you get off the subject, and that'll help you, and then you'll learn to like have control of your thoughts and stuff, and then you'll recognize, like, this is going bad, I need to get on a different subject. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? But the one thing that I did every single day, and this is what brought me joy, is I had no attachment to anything. I was just so excited about, like, I wonder who it was. I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna meet him? This is so exciting. But it wasn't like, oh my God, how am I gonna meet him? Oh my God, I have to be in this place. No. It was all super, super happy. So what I would do is get like, because I sell essential oils and do, holistic and all that kind of stuff, healing and everything. And so what I would do is we had this big, massive jacuzzi tub in our old house, and I would fill that thing with bubbles, and I love baths anyway. And so what I would do is every single day, sometimes if I was feeling super like sad about other things that were going on in my life, you know, like my marriage and stuff like that, and I wanted to think happy thoughts and I wanted to think about my soulmate, it might sound twisted to you, but that's what brought me joy. And so what I would do is go and fill the bathtub up, and I would do bubbles and essential oils and put candles around, and then I would just sit and think about all the beautiful things, like I love this and I can't wait for my soulmate to have this, and I can't wait for my soulmate to you know, to give me lots of affection, and I can't wait for my soulmate to, you know, go on bike rides with me and plant flowers in our garden, because we're gonna have a garden. Like, I just used my imagination, and everything that I thought sounded lovely and delightful, like a romantic novel, all the things that I had always wanted in my life. You know, I want my soulmate to go on walks with me. I want my soulmate to go to the beach with me, and you know, pick through the sand and find salvage things, and you know, shells, and you know, I want my soulmate to go take me to the movies and really enjoy the movie, and I want my soulmate to enjoy spending dinner time with me and talking, and I want my soulmate not to be crazy about social media and being online all the time. Like, those were, I mean, they sound kind of funny, but those were things that I had picked out in life about certain people that I was like, you know, I really love that about that cute little couple that's, you know, down the street or whatever. And I see them holding hands and they're going on their walks and they're like 70 years old. I want me and my soulmate to do that. And so I would just throw all of these beautiful little things in there. And in my bath, I mean, I tell you not, I kid you not, I think that's exactly why I manifested my soulmate in 2 months, because I had such beautiful, clear energy about them. And so the universe works to conspire, you know, to bring that person to you, waiting for that particular moment when you're both in alignment. You know, you don't have to both be perfect when you line up with each other, because what you're going to do is, as soulmates and twin flames, you're going to end up being complementary in the things that you still need to grow in. Does that make any sense? Like, there's things with Jeffrey and there's things with me that are both teaching us each things in life about how to expand more and how to grow and how to learn from this. And you know, they're contrasting moments sometimes, but they're beautiful, because when you can get to the point of enjoying contrast, because that's going to lead you into your alignment, that's beautiful, because you're expanding and expanding and more and more and more and more and more, you know, expanding more and more is what I meant. But I hope those things helped you. And if I can just reiterate, just remember that you don't have to worry about the details. I think that's one of the things that people get so worked up about that blocks them from getting their desires at a quicker rate. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of big desires I still have too, and I'm still working through that, because I'm doing some focus wheels, because I think, you know what, apparently if it's still not coming, there's some kind of contradiction in there going on with my energy. So just because I haven't manifested them, I'm not giving up hope and like, nothing ever works out for me. You know what I mean? I'm always still like, everything always works out for me. I get everything I want. I literally get everything that I want. And so if we can believe that, you're going to get your soulmate. You're going to get exactly what you want. And let me just tell you, it's going to be so freaking wonderful. You're just going to be like every day, like, oh my goodness, this is the coolest thing. But you're going to be wanting more. Even when you meet your soulmate, there's still going to be things that you're going to desire and want, you know? But I hope those couple of things helped. And just remember, if you feel uneasy, you feel like you're focusing on it too much and it's making you feel upset, or you get anxiety, you're getting down, or you're feeling, you know, a loss of hope or excitement, because if it doesn't bring you joy and like giddy, like that, well, then don't think about it. You know, think about something else. Like I said, find ways to be joyful, and then it's just going to all kind of coincide. It's like water. Like, it's just going to all work and thread itself together, you know? And so I don't know if thread would be the word that you would use for water, but blend. It's going to blend, you know? And And I'm just excited because I can't freaking wait to hear you guys' stories, like your unions and stuff. You have got to keep me up to date on this because it is so exciting. I love it. I'm so happy that you guys are like along on this journey with the soulmate twin flame. Like, this is the coolest thing. I love it so much. Anyway, I hope that you have a lovely day. And as always, I'm yours until my next swim. Ciao.